parent community. We are back with Chef Oliver. We had a lot of success with our last cooking video, Ollie's famous green bean casserole, that we decided it would be great to show everybody how to make some delicious sugar cookies just in time for Christmas. Let's take a look and see what Oliver's doing. Let's see, we have some cane sugar here, which is very important in sugar cookies, obviously. You're going to want to take some of that and mix it up with your spoon, just to make sure you have a good consistency of sugar. And then we actually don't have any vanilla extract, but a great substitute for that is maple syrup, if you get just the right amount. So we're just kind of waiting for Oliver to get started here. He's prepping all of his ingredients because it's important to make sure everything is ready to go. That way you can be sure you're going to have a great recipe when you're done. Some deliciously soft cookies. Now we're going to test the butter here and make sure that that's going to be all right. Yep, it's at room temperature, so it's nice and yielding. We're going to get some of that and just throw it right there. That's perfect. We don't need our butter just yet. Well, actually, a great way to get the sugar out of your sugar is to coat your spoon in butter and then use that to grab the sugar. Let's see. It looks like we're gonna get a little bit more sugar here than a traditional recipe would call for, but there's nothing wrong with that. Let's zoom in and see what we got going on here. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice, Chef Oliver. That's perfect. Yeah, get that right in there. That's great. Oliver's just checking on our ingredients right now. Everything in the bowl seems to be going pretty well. He might have put a little too much sugar in there, so you're going to want to put some of that back in your sugar bowl, maybe. Or just dump a little out. You know, that's fine. It doesn't need to go back in the sugar bowl. That's perfect right there. All right, we're going to get some more maple syrup going down onto our pan here to prevent our cookies from sticking. Oh, that looks wonderful, Oliver. Wow, that is going to be tasty. Nice thing about that maple syrup is it is going to be a great alternative source to vanilla extract, which we didn't have for our cooking today. And then you're going to want to mix that up, mix that maple syrup right up there. We'll pan back over to Chef Oliver as he sets his tools down. I'm going to go back for some more of that maple syrup. There just wasn't quite enough on there. And yeah, that's great. We're just going to get some more of that there. And then set your maple syrup directly on top of it. That's a really good way to test the consistency of your maple syrup. And there we go. Yeah, we see a lot going down here. Let's get a close-up of that. We're done with the maple syrup, and he's just decided that this is about the right time to move on to the flour. We got some nice Sarasota flour here. You're going to want to dip your spoon right in there. You just want a little flour, not too much. Let's see. That looks to be about the right amount of flour right there. But you are going to want to add some more maple syrup. So be sure to drizzle that right into that corner of your pan. That is going to come in handy later. And then mix that flour in there with that maple syrup. That's going to be delicious. Don't forget to add some more maple syrup. Try really hard to coat that little piece of flour that you got on there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's going to be tasty. We're back with Chef Oliver. We did miss him use his baking powder, which you can see here. So we'll check that out just to kind of demonstrate real quick how you're going to want to use that while you make your Christmas sugar cookies. Be sure to mix your baking powder thoroughly with your maple syrup, and then mix it in with some of your Sarasota flour, or whatever brand of flour is your preference. The mixture of baking soda and flour is really going to help everything come together. And if you can get a little maple syrup on your spoon while you're at it, that would be great too. Do you think if, Oliver, do you think if you dream big, anybody can be a cook?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. Masterful. It's like watching swans dance on a frozen lake. Just absolutely majestic. There we go. Maybe we've got some baking powder here. It looks like some of that's going to go into that pan there. That is the perfect amount. And don't forget to get a little baking powder on your baking sheet as well. Very important step to Christmas sugar cookies. Isn't that right, Oliver? Sure is. Very good. You can see we're going for some sugar here now. Very important ingredient in sugar cookies. You can see he's mixing some of that baking powder in there. Sometimes you don't need a new bowl. You can just make a bowl out of the bowls that you already have. And that's the beautiful part of life. We're going to go back for some more sugar here. And after inspecting it for an uncomfortably long period of time, you're going to want to make sure that that sugar goes right on the floor. Maybe a couple kernels can make it into your flour bag if you want. That's an optional feature in this particular recipe of sugar cookies. Oh, that's a great cup of sugar, great spoonful right there. Let's see where he ends up putting that. Oh, that's going to be good. Right on top of that maple syrup and that baking powder that he had used earlier. You can see something's happening with the butter right now. Definitely getting a nice heap of that. Try and get as much on your spoon as you can. And dump that directly into your baking powder. That's a great place for your butter to go. That way you can easily mix it up later when you need it. Be sure to get the wrapper off your butter and put that right in your sugar. You're going to want 1/2 stick of butter in your baking powder and another in your sugar. That way you can coat both pieces with every ingredient that you need. And then we're going to get some of that maple syrup on there too, because that's really where all that sweetness is going to come from. That makes those cookies taste amazing. Oh gosh, that looks so good. Let's get a close-up on that. Maybe we can see some of that maple syrup glaze on there. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. That looks so tasty. Oh my gosh, Chef Oliver, have you ever lost your passion for cooking? Do you think that at the ripe old age of 17 months, you'll enjoy cooking for years to come? So that's a no. We're bringing the eggs in right now because eggs are a very important part of making cookies or any baked good, really. You can see Oliver's using a really interesting technique to test the eggs to see which one is the best to throw into our dish today. Oliver, do you have any techniques that you want to share with us as far as choosing the right egg? Well, you definitely don't want to pick that one because that one is just a shell. So we're going to set that one onto the floor where it belongs. And we're going to go for an egg that actually has eggs in it. Yeah, that's another broken one, so we don't want that. And that one seems like it could be good. Which one of these is going to be our best bet? Yeah, definitely not that one. Just wanted to check and make sure that that one was in fact an empty egg. Yeah, it looks like that could be a good one. You're going to want to coat your egg in sugar. That's actually a reason why we dumped our sugar on the counter earlier. Egg. Be sure to go back through and make sure All the eggshells are out of there. Pick a great egg to work with. You don't want any inferior eggs going into your cookies because that's going to ruin the whole thing. Yeah, these eggs all over here, they're all not that great. So we're just going to avoid cooking with those. And this, gosh, there are so many shells in there. Chef Oliver, did you find a good egg yet? Perfect. We're just going to get more of that maple syrup going right down in there. It looks like he's putting the finishing touches on everything right now. Oh, another masterpiece done by Chef Oliver. Oh, we are going to want to bake this creation. First, you're going to want to take all the components in your stainless steel mixing bowl and combine them with all of the ingredients on your baking sheet. You're going to want to put that in your oven at 350 for about a good 15 minutes. Be sure to continue checking for your desired level of doneness for your Christmas sugar cookies. We'll be back as soon as these are out of the oven, and we'll give them a good taste test. This is Mackenzie Austin and Oliver Quinn with the errant parent on another episode of Oliver's Kitchen Christmas edition. These cookies are going to be super tasty. Oliver, do you have anything to say to your fans before we pop these cookies in the oven? Going back to add a little more sugar. Man after my own heart. Here you can see Oliver's beautiful Christmas cookies and how they turned out after we popped them out of the oven. That's some good old-fashioned eats right there. You may need a straw to consume these particular Christmas cookies, but rest assured, you will not regret it. This is Mackenzie Austin from the Errant Parent. Have a happy Christmas, and we will see you next time on Oliver's Kitchen.